Hi, I've got a question here from our private Facebook group, Illinois Divorce Support Network, link in bio. My divorce was finalized by the judge after trial, June 2024. I represented myself pro se after spending 3 years in litigation, and I fired my team, my legal team, after spending about $100,000 in legal fees and had absolutely nothing accomplished. I didn't feel like I did a terrible job. That said, after stewing in this for so long, there are several parts of the decision given by the judge that I feel are completely inappropriate and almost unethical based on the law. Is there anything I can do about it now, or is it too late? Okay, well, we won't get into you have nobody to blame now but yourself because you tried this case by yourself with no attorney, and you're saying you did well. Now you're saying you don't like parts of it. So I'm not sure where to go with that. But what I will tell you is an answer to your question, and that is relief from fine. And by the way, 3 years, $100,000. Cook County can be 3 to 5 years to get to trial. I'm not saying that's right. I'm against it. I talk about it in my book. And I wish more people would settle their cases, but it sounds like your spouse was unreasonable and they dragged you through this, and that's why you were forced to do this. So spending $100,000 to get up to a trial, and I don't know how far you got in legal fees, is not crazy in certainly over 3 years. So I know that it's a lot of money, no matter who you are, but divorces are expensive, as you found out. You can represent yourself, and you said you did a pretty good job. So without you saying what exactly is wrong with the court's decision, it's very hard for me to evaluate any of that. But what I will tell you is there are ways to change judgments. If it's custody or visitation, it's always modifiable, and you don't say any of that. If it's child support, it's modifiable if there's a substantial change in circumstances. So if the income changes or somebody gets fired or whatever, loses a job, you can modify that. You can usually modify alimony or maintenance. Now, the property division, usually that's a done deal. So I'm not sure what you're concerned about here because you don't say so. But just to let you know, once 30 days have passed after entry of a judgment, it's a final judgment and it gets very hard to challenge. So you have to bring a petition for relief from judgment or petition to vacate the judgment or a portion of the judgment, and you have to have a good faith basis for that. It's a very detailed part of the law. As you get farther in time from entry of a judgment, it gets harder and harder to change. I urge you to consult with an attorney to do this. It is not something to do by yourself. The section involved is 2-1401 of the Illinois Code of Civil Procedure. Thanks for asking the question. I'm Rayford Palmer, STG Divorce Law in Chicago.